Well, hello everyone, and I'm thrilled to be with you tonight. And I will be interviewing Joe Thibodeau and about two. I tell you what, let's just talk about all three of them, Joe. How about that?
Yeah, there are 3 rules with your data on your computer, and as you can see, it's just backup, backup, backup. You cannot over backup your files.
Okay. And I guess that brings us to the next question. What kind of backups can we use? You want to talk about that?
There's 3 basic general ones, and that's none, which is not recommended, and local, which is anything in the building that you're in. If it's to a device or another computer in your building, and then there's off-site, which is to a remote location where everything is completely separated from your building or your particular environment.
Okay. Now, what, Joe, what do you think about going to those statistics at the bottom of the website?
Yeah, if you go to the Sentry.
Yeah, let's go here and
Sentry
show them
website.
this right down there where it says "Did you know?" at the bottom.
Yes, and we talk about that 34% of companies fail to test their tape backup drives, and it is predominantly you will not be able to get your information off your tape drives a good portion of the time. And I've seen that in several businesses. They think everything's going fine, and they're back, and they think their tapes are fine, and there's just either no data there or they can't get it off of it. You don't see tape drives too much anymore these days.
And it says 6% of all PCs will suffer an episode of data loss in any given year.
In any given year, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Viruses are a good portion of my business. The other portion of another significant part is recovering data and replacing hard drives and computers. And the last statistic was that hard drives are lasting about 2 to 5 years.
How about that last section over there? I don't know.
The last one is the most important, really, as far as data loss. And it's like you can read there, it says 43% of companies which suffer a large-scale data loss due to disasters never reopen, and 29% of those are closed within 2 years.
Wow, that is a staggering statistic. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So now you talk about local being in the building.
Right.
But if you do something local and stick it in your pocket and take it home, that's still local.
That's still considered a local backup because of the fact that it's done in the building.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
off-site, meaning you've come in from outside and electronically taken the data somewhere else, and it's not in your possession at that point.
It's not in your possession. It's transmitted off-site to a facility, and the data is stored there.
Okay. Well, let's talk about, of course, we've talked about none. We've shown you the statistics on using no backup. So let's talk about local backup.
Local.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the most common types of local backups. You have your flash drives, or sometimes called jump or thumb drives, and you can buy those relatively inexpensively from around $10 to $30 depending on the size. And then you have external hard drives, which are relatively inexpensive. And then, of course, we show here floppy drives. They aren't used hardly at all anymore. So most of these devices are removable, and you can take them with you wherever you want to go, and you can take them out of the building. If you're going to do any kind of backup, you want to do at least this. But the flaw or one of the lacking parts of this is every one of these devices, they fail also, just as much as hard drives fail on a computer. CD-ROM drives and DVD drives, the disks on those have a shelf life. They are not permanent storage. Your external hard drives and your flash drives, they do okay, and they're a convenient way of doing it, but like with the flash drives, being that they're small, they're easy to lose, they're not very resilient, and they end up in the washing machine and dryer quite often. So they're not a good, reliable source of backup.
Or your computer technician leaves his in your USB port.
Yeah, that's right.
Has to come back and get it.
I've had to do that many a time. So.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about it going through the washer and dryer, but yeah, watch it happen.
We're not real good at that. Yeah.
Well, I don't have to worry about that anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and this one over here on the side, that I had one a long time ago in one of my computers. I think that was called like a Jazz drive.
Yeah, Jazz drive, which was a large, different type of drive where it had a removable cartridge. There were zip drives.
Zip drive,
yeah, they have those. Those technologies are going away just because of the equipment just wasn't good. I mean, it was good for the time, but nowadays there's just more cost-effective ways to do it.
Well, also, if my memory serves me correctly, these drives wouldn't hold all that my hard drive has on it now.
Well, they don't do that now. Back when the Jazz drive came out, the common size of hard drives were 1 and 2 gigabytes, and you could get a Jazz disk that was 1 and 2 gigabytes. So at the time, they were fine for that. But now with hard drives in the 500 gigabyte, terabyte, and 1.5 and 2 terabyte sizes, they just can't hold the data that's there.
Right. Yeah. I use my jump drive just primarily to move information from my desktop to my laptop.
Yeah, it's the new floppy.
Yeah, just to take it with me. Yeah.
It's replaced the floppy disk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go on and talk about the third kind of backup, which is off-site.
Right.
I know that you told me there are lots of companies out there that do off-site backup, and I've heard some of them advertise really cheap. In fact, the last laptop that I bought, it came loaded with some software on it where all I had to do was, like sign up for a free trial for 30 days. And you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, these are companies that are out there, and for some people they're adequate. If I was maybe going to back up just some pictures and maybe a few music files or something. They're out there. They usually run right around $5 a month, and they can be valuable to some people. If you're in business, however, you start thinking about whether or not that's a reasonable price for it, and there are reasons why they are the low price, and there are some concerns when it comes to critical business data that they really do not meet what you really should be doing.